Welcome to briefings on global affairs and geopolitics. This hour in perspective. Brics ministers call for rebalancing of global order away from West. Let's delve into this in more detail. At a meeting of the Brics foreign ministers in Cape Town, from left to right, the foreign ministers of China, Brazil, South Africa, Russia, and India. During their summit in South Africa, the foreign ministers of the countries that make up the Brics group of nations urged for a shift in the global order away from the nations of the West. Naledi Pandor, the Minister of Foreign Affairs of South Africa, stated that the group's mission was to give global leadership in a world that has been split by geopolitical tension, inequality, and global instability. The nations of Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa are referred to collectively as Brics. The talks have been complicated by allegations that Russia committed war crimes in Ukraine. Because of the charges, the International Criminal Court, ICC, has issued a warrant for the arrest of Russian President Vladimir Putin, and because South Africa is a member of the court, it would be required to arrest him if he attended a Brics summit that is set to take place in Johannesburg in August. Some people consider the Brics as an alternative to the G7, which is a group of wealthy nations that met for their annual summit in the city of Hiroshima in Japan last month. The event was also attended by the leaders of Brazil and India. The countries that make up the G7 have been quite critical of Russia and China. Moreover, 3.2 billion people live in Brics countries as a whole, which accounts for approximately 40% of the world's total population of approximately 8 billion people. At the beginning of the second day of discussions that took place in Cape Town, the Indian Minister of External Affairs Subramaniam Jaishankar stated that the conference needed to send out a strong message that the world is multipolar, that it is rebalancing, and that old ways cannot address new situations. At the core of the challenges we face is economic concentration, which places an unacceptable number of nations at the whim of an unacceptable number of others, he stated. Mauro Vieira, the foreign minister of Brazil, referred to the BRIs as an essential mechanism for constructing a multipolar world order that reflects the devices and needs of developing countries. According to the Chinese Vice Foreign Minister Ma Zhaoxu, the Brics organization has the potential to expand in order to offer help to emerging market economies and developing nations. According to Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov, more than a dozen countries, including Saudi Arabia, have expressed interest in joining the group. Saudi Arabia is one of these countries. His attendance at the ceremony was met with demonstrations, some of which included the carrying of a picture of Mr. Lavrov with the words "child murderer" written over it. One protester told the AFP news agency that it was uncomfortable to watch South African authorities shaking the hand of a person who is part of these systemic war crimes against Ukrainian children. This protester was referring to the case being brought against Vladimir Putin by the International Criminal Court, ICC. The African National Congress, ANC, which currently serves as South Africa's governing party, has maintained close connections with Russia going all the way back to the time when a white minority ruled the country until 1994. As a result, South Africa has refrained from condemning Russia's invasion of Ukraine. This past week, a deputy minister stated to the BBC that the nation intended to amend its laws so that it would have the authority to decide whether or not to arrest a leader who is wanted by the International Criminal Court, ICC. Andrew Harding, a correspondent for the BBC, approached Dr. Pandor during a press conference and asked him whether or not Mr. Putin would be jailed if he attended the meeting in August. The President, Cyril Ramaphosa, will indicate what the final position in South Africa is, she responded. The president will indicate what the final position in South Africa is. An official of a higher rank has been quoted as saying that the current scenario is a diplomatic nightmare that the South African administration is desperately trying to escape from. One of the options that is reportedly being considered is shifting the summit to another nation. That's where we wrap things up for the time being. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.